Let's go live. Go
Okay.
live.
Well, I hope we're live.
Let's see. Are we on? Can anybody hear us?
You know, we tend to have some technical difficulties with everything. Oh, we are live. Okay.
Well, you know,
Good.
that happens.
Well, here's the thing. Video, audio, anything that really plugs into the wall is a complete pain in the butt.
Well, yeah, that's...
What can I say? It's just a complete pain in the butt. So, but anyways, we're live with return guest, Jeremiah Fultz.
Third time now, so...
Is this your third
am I,
time?
Am I the first three-peat?
I think you're the first three-peat.
I'll take it. I like it.
We should have some fun, though. We always have a lot to talk about.
Well, of course. We
camera.
always have a lot to talk about, so...
On camera, off camera,
Yep.
we always have a lot to talk about. So, how you doing, man?
Not too bad, you know. Rolling through it, you know, having fun. Got to go ride my dirt bike yesterday, so that was kind of nice.
That's always a good time. Well, most of the time.
So, yeah, we've seen the bad times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We won't talk about those, you know.
yeah, let's not talk about the bad times. Let's
Yeah.
focus on the good times. So yeah, Moto Monday number 73 with Jeremiah Fultz, presented by 110 Clothing. Can you believe we're up to 73 episodes?
That's insane. 73.
I don't think we've ever had one flawless one, but we're getting there. We're sticking it out, and we're not going to give up.
It's getting better. It's always a little. It takes a little bit. It's like racing. It's like a dirt bike. You gotta tweak and tune it till it's just right, and then you sell it and get a new one.
I'm not selling the podcast. At least
Well,
not now.
you know.
But from the first time you were on till now,
Yeah,
you've made a few changes.
big changes. I like the new format, the YouTube format. Kind of split it up a little bit. Nice little, more of a podcast feel to this section of it, and then
Yeah.
of course the free for all that comes afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
The riot.
Splitting the show into two sections was kind of a new idea, new concept, but it seemed to work out so far.
Yeah.
So, as our first three-peat guest, man, I feel like I should have a special prize for you.
You do. You got me a job.
I got you a job?
Refereeing people.
Is that where we're going to start this thing off of? Like,
yeah.
refereeing? So, for people who don't know, Jeremiah Fultz, dude,
We'll call it a Marshal. Nobody likes a referee.
No one likes a referee.
Nobody likes
Amen.
a referee.
So you are the race marshal for Riverdale Raceway, among other things.
Yes.
We'll go into those too. But you're the race marshal out there, which means that you're the guy that people get to yell at when things don't go right.
It's usually not yelling. It's usually a lot of whining, but, you can take it either way. So
And we got you on as a race marshal because you're someone that I know knows the industry, knows bikes, knows the rules, and I have faith in your judgment abilities. Like, you're a straight shooter. And you know your stuff, and we're not throwing a random person in there. Like, you know what you're talking about. So
Thanks.
And you've been in the industry for a little bit now.
Yeah, it's been a while. So it's been over a decade now.
What was your? Sorry, I'm multitasking here. I'm trying to get a few more people on by sending some invites. But what was your first job in the industry?
First job was Trail Tech.
It was Trail Tech.
It was Trail Tech.
I think when I met you, you were a Trail Tech guy.
Yep. That 2008. Started with Trail Tech doing warranty repair and, of course, a lot of tech support. So, another company that's gone huge since they opened. I think they opened 15 years ago. So,
Yeah, they've gone. I remember when it started, small shop to now it's huge, man.
yeah, started out of Jeff Watton's garage.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, literally out of his garage.
Just down the street in Battleground, Washington.
Yep.
And it has blown up. I mean, is it safe to say they're one of the world leaders in lighting?
I wouldn't say lighting, but definitely electronics.
General electronics.
Well, they make wiring harnesses for all the Polaris units, the control panels, the head units for some other brands. So a lot of the speedometers, things like that. They make the instruments for those bikes. So bikes, side-by-sides, they're actually a division of Polaris now. So.
Yeah, Polaris bought them, what was it, 2 years ago?
I believe 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was wild. It kind of slid under the radar, though. Not a lot of people heard.
I think Polaris went crazy and they went on a little buying spree that year. So
Yeah, and Trail Tech was one of them.
Trail Tech, one of them. Climb, I think, was one of the other. Timber Sled. I believe they bought Zero or Bramo motorcycles, the electric company.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Yep.
Really?
And then, if I remember correctly, Four Wheel Parts the online and all the stores. They bought that whole conglomerate.
I was not aware of that either. Man, they're just going hog wild.
Yeah,
all right.
You got to have everything. Plus, they shuttered the doors on the Victory line because they bought the Indian name and resurrected that brand.
Mm-hmm.
It's an iconic American brand, and I think they did pretty good by it. So, pretty well. The stuff that they're doing, the bikes they're putting out are pretty nice if you're into that sort of street thing with a lot of chrome.
The street thing with a lot of chrome.
I may be a vet racer, but I'm not quite there yet. So.
I hear you, man. I haven't got there either.
Yeah,
I don't know if I will, because if I want to go on the street with something that's not like a rocket of any sort or a pit bike,
KTM 500 EXC,
or one of those, it's probably going to be all matte black. It's not going to be like a big slouch back chrome thing with 8 exhaust pipes coming out the back.
Yeah, Sons of Anarchy style bike or something.
At least the right direction. Honestly, it's probably going to be an air-cooled 400cc with a seat without a lot of foam on it.
You've had one of those.
I think you had one.
We just never did it all black. So
I think you worked on my bike.
I did.
What was that thing? XS?
Yeah, 79 XS 400 Yamaha.
Ooh.
Little bobber. Yeah, that was probably one of the funkiest projects you ever brought me.
Worse than the Tiburon?
Okay, sorry, second. Man, I don't know. There's been a few, so yeah, the Tiburon was sketchy.
Can you believe I took that Hyundai Tiburon, and you worked on it. You know what shape that thing was in. I took that over the pass, over Idaho into Montana.
I can't believe you took it over the bridge to Oregon, so that thing was horrible.
And I broke the e-brake on the way there because I was with my sister, and we were going snowboarding. I forget the mountain pass or the resort we were going to. But I was like, hey, watch this. And I yelled, Gymkhana! And I yanked the e-brake to try to get on the freeway to get a slide going.
Snap.
Like, well, there went my e-brake.
Hey, at least it wasn't stuck on, though. That would have been worse.
Yes, definitely worse, because we're in the middle of nowhere. We stopped in a town to get some gas and grab like a Red Bull. I think the population was about 21, and they were all...
Is that on your way to Bend?
No, that was going to Idaho.
Okay, I was going to say, because going to Bend, you had other issues. I think I remember, was that the Tiburon?
Oh, yeah, that was when the Tiburon broke down on me, and I was trying to go to his competition, so I walked from the Taco Bell where it died. I left $40 under the mat for some guy named Jesus to pick it up later. Never met the guy either. And I walked over to the only car lot in town. I think, was this Redmond? Madras? One of those. And I found a green 98 Ford Mustang 5.0.
I remember. I'd never seen the car. I'd never seen the car. But I did see the bike that you traded that car for.
And you bought the bike, yeah.
I did buy the bike.
Yeah, I literally bought a car. KTM. I bought a car on the spot, like how much cash right now I have to get somewhere. Bought the Mustang, left the Tiburon, drove to the competition, and then like a week later ended up going back and getting the Tiburon after it had the little sensor fixed and whatever. And then I took that car, never drove it again, traded to someone, got a KTM. You bought the KTM. It's funny how things work.
09 450 SXF. I like those bikes.
It was a good bike. I never got to ride that one. I drove the Tiburon a lot, but I never got to ride the bike.
Unfortunately, I drove the Tiburon too, and worked on it a lot.
So, sometimes my affordable projects aren't always affordable.
I could not believe the money you got out of that thing, because that car was hit on every corner repeatedly.
Yeah, I got pretty decent price out of it, too.
Yeah, for something that looked like it had been in a demolition derby.
Hey.
Maybe not when I was done with it.
Don't knock the Hyundais, man. Don't knock the Hyundais.
It's amazing what Plastidip will do.
Amen. Plastidip for the win.
Yes, for the win.
Although one thing it should not go on is a dirt bike.
No.
Let's just not Plastidip dirt bikes.
Plastidip or rhino lining.
No.
I had a bike come in the other day with a tank that was rhino lined, and I was like, what? I just didn't understand that.
So tell people what you do for your day job.
I am the parts manager at Gresham Powersports. We are a KTM Husqvarna dealer.
In?
Gresham, Oregon. Yeah, I forgot. We're going nationwide.
Yeah, we're nationwide. Not everyone knows where Gresham is.
Gresham, Oregon, a little suburb of Portland. Actually, it's connected to Portland. So.
Yeah, it's one and the same, basically.
Yeah, it's like East Portland, we'll call it.
Yeah. Do you got just many crazies in Gresham, though?
Oh.
Yeah?
It's definitely a little different driving into Gresham. I mean, it's different people. Coming from Battleground, small little town, we're starting to see the crazies. They're rolling through every once in a while, but out there it's on display. Loud and proud.
Portland's getting bad.
It is. You know, I think there's just a problem. I think they say it's homeless and people that don't want to be homeless, but it's getting to where it's almost like it's a rite of passage, or the hip thing to do is be homeless, because a lot of those people are able-bodied. You can tell they're not. You have your people that are definitely destitute, down and out.
But you have a lot of people who think it's cool to be homeless, and that's like their thing, and they just want to be greasy. I don't understand that.
No,
why is that a thing?
Dreadlocks aren't cool. I mean,
once in a while, I don't know.
I mean, but dirty dreadlocks, like
I've seen some pretty cute chicks with dreadlocks. I mean, I'm just gonna put it on record.
Okay, there is that. I just
saying.
It's a little. I don't know. It boggles my mind, because it's kind of hard to be homeless and have a dirt bike. So.
Amen to that.
That's you can have a stolen pedal bike. I've seen a lot of those.
Yeah, I got nothing for that one, but
but it's hard to be homeless and have a dirt bike. And
it is.
I like dirt bikes.
Dirt bikes are awesome.
Dirt bikes.
Now tell me your opinion. Why don't more people ride moto?
A lot of it's getting into the sport.
Is it the exposure? They haven't been exposed to it?
I think a lot of it is that. There's not a lot of people that have been exposed to that side, like football, baseball, basketball, soccer. You get hammered with it. The sports content is everywhere. I mean, you have the Golf Channel. The NBA has their own channel.
I don't understand how people can watch golf.
NFL has their own
Have
channel.
you watched golf? Have you watched golf on TV?
Golf. I have watched golf, and there has been times where you're sitting down there on a Sunday, flip on the golf, and it's at the end of a tournament, and it's competition. I mean, I think that's where it's at. It's still competition at the base of it, and
yes, and golf is hard. I've played golf, and
golf is the most difficult thing I've ever done.
It's one of those sports. It's like it's fun, but it's really not entertaining to watch. You know what I mean? Like it's all quiet. Don't talk. And I almost want to record a half hour of golf, and then do WWE kind of commentary over the top of it.
Awesome, yes.
Just turn off the volume.
Happy Gilmore style.
Yes.
That's and that's maybe that's one of the things with golf, but it is interesting to boring people, so that's pretty cool.
I don't mind it. Playing it's kind of fun. I don't like the people. I don't like the pastel pink shirts. I think when I played, I was in black Dickies, black DCs. I had a JGW shirt on, my hat on backwards. Everyone was looking at me. I was like,
Bottle of Crown, probably. Oh, no, sorry, Canadian Mist.
No. Actually, no. I don't think I've ever drank and played golf.
Really? Well, you're missing all the fun.
Apparently, I'm missing all the fun. I don't know.
I think that's what the whole point of the game is for the average person.
First time I played golf was at a 4-star resort. I paid $100 to enter a tournament.
Really?
I've literally never done anything other than putt-putt. And I'm going in, I'm
never
looking
been
around.
To a driving range, anything like that?
Nothing.
Oh, man.
Nothing. And I enter in a tournament where there's 4-person teams, and I don't know what to do. So, one of the guys all right, it's all cool. This is a family charity tournament. I'm like, aren't all golf tournaments charity? That's their thing. So.
Oh, golf tournaments, the money is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
I've seen some of the payouts on the PGA tournament, the tour. It's
ridiculous.
Insane. Oh, look, 32nd got $42,000.
I don't understand why. I don't get it.
What is 20th place in the Supercross payout? $1,000?
Not even.
Yeah, and you're out there risking your life.
Yeah, and I don't get golf. Yeah, that tournament, man, it was so bad. So they took me to the driving range to at least show me kind of how to do it. And I got a hang of it, and I had actually a decent drive, but the ball wouldn't go straight. I'm like, oh man, I'm screwed. So we get in the golf cart, and the golf cart might be fun. First time teeing off ever in my life. All right, we're getting ready. Went at a direct 90-degree angle, and it dented the golf cart. And everyone's just started cussing like pirates. They're just, what in the actual hell? When it was my turn, everyone was behind me.
See, that's the bad part with me. That's the place you don't want to stand, because the ball doesn't go that way. It goes backwards. I probably golf worse than anybody you've ever met. I'm at the driving range, and my cousin.
I'm pretty bad, man.
My cousin won't go to the driving range with me. He's like, no, You're going to kill somebody back here. It's like the balls go out that way.
Yeah. Okay, so we should play sometime.
know.
Dude, I got 2 sets of clubs. Let's do it. We'll see who's worse, because I'm bad.
They're probably right-handed clubs, so I probably can't play any worse right-handed than I do left-handed, so.
I was pretty bad. I'm just saying. And I don't get it. And then I'm out there looking like, man, this would be one badass motocross track.
That's the hard part, because it just looks like so much
just
fun.
pristine, nice rolling hills. I'm like, give me a good 450 in 5 minutes.
Oh,
You ain't going to catch me.
with the paddle tire on it.
Oh, God.
I want to do some damage.
You and your 500s. Okay, what is it? You know, we've been friends for a while now. What is it with us having such opposite tastes in most everything, but especially in dirt bikes?
I don't know. You like little 4-stroke dirt bikes. I like big 2-stroke dirt bikes. It's kind of, I don't know. It's my thing. And you like these little bikes. You like little bikes. I don't understand.
I like pit bikes.
They are fun.
You like big bore 2-strokes.
Big bore 2-strokes. It's just a different world on a big bore 2-stroke.
Has it always been your thing? Is this like why the 2-strokes?
As a kid,
why the 2-strokes?
I grew up through the late 70s, early 80s into the 90s, and that was always the premier. Was the big bores. When the 500 class would come, that was the most awesome thing in the world. Just big bore, thumping, gnarly bikes. And I guess it just stuck with me.
And you just haven't shaken it off.
No, and they're scary. They are so scary. You get on one and you wick the throttle and you go, nope, shouldn't have done that. That's not fun.
So the 2-strokes are a hot topic right now because I think, and this is my personal opinion as someone who's not the biggest 2-stroke fan, but I think they're getting popular because motocross is getting so expensive. And there is option to go out and race moto and not drop 10 grand on a new dirt bike, and that's by buying a 2-stroke, even if it's a new 2-stroke.
Well,
but if you buy used, I mean, you can back me up here if I'm wrong, or back me up if I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong. But you can also go buy yourself a 2004. If you buy yourself a 2004 CRF 450 or 2004 CR 250, which one has lower maintenance costs?
Well, the CRF 450 is going to be cheaper to purchase now, which is crazy. That 04 CR250, the price keeps coming up, and the 450 prices keep dropping.
But isn't that because of maintenance?
It is because of maintenance.
It's because you got to put 2,000 into the 4-stroke
exactly.
just to get it to run right.
To rebuild the 4-stroke that hasn't had a complete catastrophic failure is still close to $2 grand. By the time you get done with doing the head work, new valves, valve springs, timing chain, crank, piston, everything that it needs, plus the work, you have to pay somebody to do the head work on it. If the seats have to be replaced, valve guides, any of that gets done, you're looking at $2 grand for that. Take the 250 2-stroke, throw a piston kit in it. If you really need to, you can throw a crank kit in it. As long as you can do the work yourself, which most people can do. If you can split the cases on a 250 2-stroke, you can rebuild the thing for about $600 completely.
And that's the thing. The 2-strokes are a lot easier to work on. There's
They are.
There's less moving parts.
The average guy can rebuild a 2-stroke in an afternoon in the garage. A long afternoon and that's including a few drinks,
cussing,
the kids coming in, the wife yelling at him. I can do a 2-stroke top end in about 45 minutes to an hour now.
So, So you think that's the main thing is not necessarily the upfront cost, but it's the maintenance.
It's the maintenance.
The
It's the threat of what will happen if that 4-stroke blows a bottom end. You got to put cases in it. It's $4,000.
Especially a 250F, it's like a ticking time bomb.
It
It's like
is.
when
They've been just ridden to that point the whole time. RPM, they're a ticking time bomb. CRF 250s. I don't know how many of those guys when I had my shop would come in and say, hey, my bike doesn't run. I just bought it. I've got like 10 hours on it. And you pull it apart and the valves would be
especially
stuck
Hondas.
in the piston. Yeah, well, the Honda. not to be down on the Hondas. It's just the
early Hondas.
The early Hondas were you just had no maintenance. Most guys didn't do maintenance. They didn't do an air filter.
The valve seats.
Yep, the valve seats. As soon as the valve seats go and it starts eating away that valve surface, it'll pull right through and then you're done.
Yeah.
So
the old 4-strokes or parts bikes is basically what they turned into.
They did. They donated a lot of forks to 2-stroke conversions.
Yeah.
So man, they've done it it seems like the factories have done everything in their power to kind of eradicate
Some of
the
them have.
two-stroke. Well,
Honda,
except
Suzuki,
KTM.
KTM and Husky. Even
Yamaha did jack squat to their bike for 10
haven't.
plus years. Like, they just like, it's here if you want it, you know.
They did do with the FX or the X, the 250, YZ250X, made a trail bike somewhat.
Recently,
Cross-country
though.
bike
Recently. And that's the thing. It seems like the past couple years, there's been like this resurgence.
There has been.
Because I think it's just getting so, this is my opinion, it's been getting so expensive to go buy a brand new 250, 350, 450 and go and race it. People are just like, man, I don't know if I really want to spend that. And everything has gone up. We have $700 helmets now. You know? So I think people are like, I want to just go have fun, not blow every penny I have. And the two-strokes aren't dying. If anything, it seems like they're having a comeback.
They are. The prices of them of used two-stroke is going up. I think the biggest thing about that is people are realizing at the amateur level, you don't have to have a 2017, 2018 250F to go be competitive in that class, because at amateur level you can race a 252 stroke against a 254 stroke.
Yes.
You're not giving up any horsepower if you're riding a 10, even 15-year-old bike. Yeah, suspension brakes, but at our level we're not taxing the suspension and brakes to that point anyways. Your average 25 plus C rider isn't going to be at that level. So they can go out and do just as well on a bike that they spent $2,500 on, bought better gear, better protective equipment, like you said, a $700 helmet, ward off concussions, set of knee braces, a neck brace, good set of boots instead of your base level boots, so you're not breaking an ankle, doing damage to your body when you're at that level where your skill level's not up to the point where you can overcome the slight mistakes that you would make. I can tell you right now, if Suzuki decided to drop their RMZ line and just started building 08 RM125s and 250s, they would outsell their current RMZ line.
Do they sell any RMZs right now?
I see a few.
I knew that would get Joe going.
Hey, KJ said they're out of 18s on the Suzukis.
Well, yeah, because they probably only ordered 3.
And they sold them for a good price, too.
Nothing against the Suzukis. I'd ride one, but...
But I will say that the 4-strokes have come a long ways.
The durability on a 4-stroke is...
They got the valve stuff figured out. And
I think after 08...
Yeah, I'd say 9 and newer.
Yep.
They're a lot better than the 4s, 5s, 6.
So now here's the big picture, theoretical question. What's coming next? Are we going to see more 2-strokes? Are we going to see Honda actually say that, okay, we're going to bring back a 2-stroke?
No, you'll never see Honda do it. Honda will never.
That's because Honda sucks. But
so Soichiro Honda's son in the late 60s, early 70s to actually go behind his dad's back, take the R&D department and have them build the early CRs. And then present a running bike to his dad and say, here you go, this is what we can put out there. The son of the CEO, the founder of the company, had to go behind his back to get that done. Skunk works the bike to get the okay, because his dad said no 4-strokes. Or no 2-strokes, only 4-strokes.
And now they're back to only 4-strokes.
Only 4-strokes.
So, okay, so forget Honda for a moment then. Do you think out of everyone else we're going to see more 2-stroke development? Or are we going to see, here's a big question, are we going to see everyone just start going electric?
No, I think electric, probably the kids' bikes. That's going to be the first.
You think of kids' bikes?
The kids' bikes are going to be the first to go to the electric. Because
I haven't heard this,
they are the loudest out there. They're
Fair.
the loudest bikes on the track.
So are the parents.
Well, of course. The kids, to get into it, the noise of the motorcycle scares them. So to get them used to riding.
That's solid. Actually, that's pretty solid.
And that's the problem with a lot of kids. They don't like the noise. I mean, they're noise sensitive. It wasn't like a kid. When I was a kid, you grew up around chainsaws, running, and there was noise everywhere. Nowadays it's, I don't know, Fortnite or whatever.
Fortnite.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I've just heard the name thrown out there.
I've never thought about that. That's actually pretty valid, because I've heard from a lot of parents like, yeah, the noise scares their kids.
Yep.
That would actually be pretty smart to start coming out with electric youth racers.
You'll see some of the top manufacturers of youth racing motorcycles you'll start seeing those in the next few years. I can almost guarantee that. I know Gas already has their E10 and E12 out, which is their little enduro version electric bike, because they were bought out by Turo last year, and Turo's a Spanish electric bike company, and that was they had electric trials bikes and little enduro bikes, and that's what they used Gas as a distribution network for that, and then pumped a bunch of money in the company. And Gas is doing really well. TM this year has for 2020, the 2019 bikes will be counterbalanced on their two strokes, the 250, 300, and electric start. So that's a electric start, counterbalanced MX 300, the only open class two-stroke out there.
Let's talk TM for a minute. You know, they're still not allowed to race in the AMA, like Supercross and Motocross, but they are allowed to race at the Straight Rhythm, non-sanctioned. It's a sideshow. It's not even a real motocross race, but
you're going to start seeing a lot more of these Monster Energy Cup, these things that are not FIM sanctioned, AMA sanctioned. I mean, AMA is a joke.
Let's talk FIM.
Oh.
I think more so than AMA. I think FIM is a joke.
They're both, as far as sanctioning bodies go. The AMA does a lot of good, mostly on the street bike side, rider awareness. They do a really good job there.
Agreed.
But when it comes to competition in motocross, it's just not there. The rules aren't there to support everybody. The amateur level. That is what fuels our sport, is the amateur level. And not being able to see a 252 stroke against a 250F at the pro level doesn't make the younger buyers want to ride a two-stroke, because they're looking at those guys, the top pros, and going, well, they're not riding a two-stroke, why should I?
Now, I've brought up this idea before on Moto Monday. I think I've probably brought it up to you, my idea of shortening the times and adding a third class.
Oh,
Have we talked about that? Like having a 125 class, then the 250, and the 125, if you're 16 to 18 range, that's the only one available to you.
Yep.
So you can't ride any of these 250, full-blown 250Fs or 450s until you're over 18.
It should be a 150 class, I think. I think they should go
okay.
150,
Instead of 125, a 150.
I think they should go 150, 250, and open class.
Yes. See, that's what I think they should have. They should have the three classes. And, man, the 152 stroke class would be a hoot. Now, there's other people who would argue that disagree with me, but I think it would be a blast to see, because it's a different kind of racing. You can't screw up. Block passes are going to do way more damage because you can't get the momentum to then go hit that triple.
It is.
You know? And people have to scrub like a madman over stuff because you ain't got the horsepower to get back going again.
No, you've got to have your shifts on time, carry corner speed. It's all about flow, and it's all about rider skill at that point. So
yes,
I
think it would be an exciting class.
It would be, and especially kids moving off, because most of those kids are coming off, super minis and 85s, so they're used to that style of riding.
Yes,
to throw them on a 250F, their bodies aren't, the muscle mass isn't there for that yet. So let them make that transition to a bike that weighs 100 and probably at the pro level, 185 pounds. Still carrying 40 horsepower, but 185 pounds. A lot smarter. It would be better for the sport in general, but not for the manufacturers.
Yeah. And
that's where it comes back to. That's why there's not a general rule that says 250, no matter what what stroke it is. If it's a 2-stroke or 4-stroke, it should be allowed in the 250 class. And then up above that, it should just be an open class. There shouldn't be a 450 restriction. It should just be anything above 250 runs in that class.
Yeah, I don't want to diss on the AMA. They've done a lot of good for the sport, and
you've got to remember that AMA is different from AMA the AMA that controls pro motocross isn't really the AMA. That's MX Sports. That's the nationals and Supercross. I mean, there's everything from Feld, FIM, MX Sports, AMA, all involved. The only one I'll really just trash talk right now. We don't need the FIM. Get them out of here. Like we're not a world championship. We don't go to any.
The
other
rules are
countries
ridiculous.
other than Canada, and we could really We don't need to go to Toronto.
I don't think we've gone to. Have we still gone?
Yeah, we do Toronto every year.
Get rid of Toronto. Nothing against you Canadians, eh?
Well,
but
it's just
get at like
it's
we
just
don't
like
need it.
North Minnesota or something, isn't it?
Basically.
Yeah. So.
And you've heard me rant about the drug testing thing. The FIM coming in to bring their WADA testing is the biggest bunch of bull crap. Do you know how much one of those drug tests costs from WADA?
Oh, I could only imagine. Probably $5,000.
Dude, Canadian
Close to 10.
is
like
a joke.
Like 10.
$10,000. That's ridiculous.
And depending on the location, I've heard it can go up to 13.5. So get rid of that. This is something I've preached 100 times over. I'm going to preach it again. Work with your local states to use their drug testing protocol. It's dirt cheap compared to like for what they're paying to test one athlete. For WADA, you can go get a urine test for pretty much everyone on the gate through your local sheriff's office.
Which, if you're doing that, that's what should be done anyways. I mean,
Yeah.
really, we're not... I don't understand the rules and regulations of what we're doing. It's racing. It is, at its foundation, probably one of the purest sports out there, I believe.
So I heard from someone that for the Canadian Supercross, you have to get a work visa. And forgot one of the riders.
Dean Wilson
Davalos couldn't race it.
Yeah, Davalos couldn't get over, and Dean Wilson couldn't get back one year.
And then the person I know, he couldn't say that he's going for the Supercross because that's work. So he had to say he's going on vacation because he's not allowed to work there.
That's insane. It's why would you have that? It's the same thing with these flyaway races for the world, MXGP. Why do they fly to? I've seen them where they go to, Southeast Asia, and then back to Europe, and then back to Southeast Asia. Why would you not run those rounds together, or to South America, back to Europe, then back to North America? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, they're all crazy over there. Like I know, I'm not even going to get into the whole MXGP thing.
I love the MXGP. It is such fun racing.
You know the guys who get it right.
They come to America.
No. you know the organization that really gets it right. It's the Canadians.
The Canadians.
Dude, the Canadian Motocross Championship is a hoot. They have the funniest announcers.
Their announcers are awesome. I love hearing the announcers.
I'm like, I really want to do Kamloops next year. I want to go out, me and Zach Squatch go race Kamloops.
What's the one race that they have out there? There's some funky named tracks, too, that they got, too.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce half of them.
Saskatoon and, You Betcha or wherever it's at.
You betcha. Dude, but they just it looks more fun. Just the atmosphere around the pits. Everyone I know who's gone to race the Canadian Nationals are like, dude, it's so different. I mean, it's kind of the same, but like, they're so much cooler up there.
You meet the nicest people in Canada, so.
Yeah, we're just not doing it right. I'm not saying Canada is a country. I'm not going into any of that politics and everything. Just Canadian Nationals, I think they're doing it right.
Yeah, I have watched some of the Canadian Nationals and really like their coverage is good. Like I said, the announcers are awesome, and the racers are. Dude,
the announcers, the first Canadian National I listened to, I put it on my computer. I was working around here, and 5 minutes in, I just stopped. Like, what did he say? It was too hilarious, man. I'm like, I like this guy. I don't even remember who it was. It was
that Alessi guy just parked him.
He just parked him, eh?
It is funny.
I love it. I could listen to that all day long. It's freaking awesome. So,
yeah,
I like what they're doing.
Canada definitely does it right. So,
I wonder if they allow TMs.
They allow 2 strokes as long as you're Canadian.
That's a little weird. That Americans can't come up and race their 2 strokes. That's a total odd rule.
Like, oh yeah, you can race a 2-stroke, but you got to be Canadian.
That's a little messed up. They're literally only allowing their Canadians to race 2-stroke. That's a little weird.
You can only ride a 2-stroke if you're ridden a moose. I think that's what it is.
Oh man. Okay. So
yeah, I still think that if they don't equalize the rules across the board, 2 strokes, bring in a feeder class. I've said that for years too. We've talked about that. You've got to have a feeder class to the 250Fs.
Yes.
And I think another thing they should do is get away from the East and West Coast.
Really? Okay.
Because it's only a regional title. It's not considered a national title. Those guys go out there and bust their butts.
Well, I think
if you want to do a regional, set it up like we said. use your feeder class, your 125, 150 class as a regional. But I think you should have 250 because the 250 guys are at the top of their level. And they should be racing the whole year. That way they're prepped for the 450 class when they start there.
I think they're doing it, though, because they don't pay out as much for the 250
Well,
class.
plus
so
you're
they're trying to make it affordable that they don't have to travel all over the country.
It's not that affordable to begin with, and the payout's crap.
Plus, you're cutting your support in half because if you have 6 250 guys, now you're going to have 3. That leaves even more privateers.
Yeah.
That's the thing I don't like about that.
They should do an A and a B main.
What?
Yes.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, that way you get your...
Imagine
that way your lower 20 guys can race and have a good time, and your upper 20 guys, you get 40 guys out there racing.
Imagine Mitch if he had 6 cowies on the track at one time.
Oh, jeez.
He wouldn't make it. He would kill himself.
Oh, yeah. It would be funny to watch, though. Geico
Sorry,
Hondas all over the place.
Had to.
So somebody... It would just give the privateers more if you could just do that, do an A and a B main.
Man, you wouldn't have time if you had the 3 classes, though, man.
You could run the B mains in the morning.
Yeah?
Make it an all-day sport. Just like Nationals. Go back to 2 days. This single day on a Saturday...
You ain't going to get the spectator turnout. That's the problem, man. Dude, I love motocross. I eat, sleep, breathe motocross. I ain't doing 2 days.
They're worried about... All that MX Sports is worried about is TV numbers. They want that TV revenue. They want that. That's where they want to be. They want to be the NASCAR.
Let's talk TV. Because, my opinion, TV's dying, bro.
Oh, it is. It's everything's
TV's dying. Like,
I can watch it online. I get the, was it the NBC Sports Gold package? And I get to watch all the Nationals.
Oh, screw the gold package, dude. That's still the dumbest. That pissed me off to no end. I have
no
not watched...
two-stroke coverage at all. That's what pissed me off.
Dude, well, okay.
I like it because I can watch it on my phone on my lunch break.
Yes. I just don't like how they're doing it. Streaming, yes. NBC Sports Gold, no. And the whole, well, you can watch the first 2 motos, but then you have to go over here to watch these. So dumb. I think they need to set up a easy pay-per-month streaming program. It's not that hard to do.
That's NBC Gold. It shows all 4 motos. It's live all 4 motos.
You got to pay a flat rate, though. That's
Yeah.
part of where they're screwing up.
I mean, $54 a year is not bad.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Guys are paying
I'm
$250 for the NFL Network for a season.
Yeah, well, that's watching a bunch of, like, I got to be nice here. Bunch of guys in leotards and steroids running around and bashing their heads into each other, dude. Like, no, I don't even want to go there. But
hey,
here's my thing.
I like football. I watch football. I watch basketball.
I won't watch. I
know
watch
you know, and a lot of people in our sport don't. But I love basketball. I love the athletes are awesome. They do things I can't do because I'm 5'8" and have no vertical. I mean, let's just say it. Basketball was never my strong suit, so it's amazing watching them do that.
Here's my thing about the NBC Gold. I have a few opinions on it. One, come on, the straight up front fee, not a lot of people do that because there's a reason. If you tell people, hey, pay $55 or whatever it is, or $7.99 a month.
$7.99 a month.
Split it up. You know how many more people would pay if it was a low monthly? Like, in the end, they're going to pay more per year. The whole flat rate up front thing is going to scare them off. Okay, so I'm going to use fighting, the other sport that I enjoy, fighting. So the UFC has something called UFC Fight Pass. UFC Fight Pass, I have it. It's $9.99 a month. Okay? Mm-hmm. To me, that's nothing. That's easy. Okay, so I don't really think of it as a guy in marketing who knows all these tricks. I still don't really think, oh, that's $120 a year.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I guarantee most of the other people aren't really thinking of that end year number. So they pay it. You know how many subscribers they have?
Oh, I'm sure it's insane, but
it's like 10 million. So take that times $9.99,
yep.
100 million a month. Just saying, break it down into a little different program, and I think, man, even some of the outdoor Supercross and I guess Arena Cross is gone now. I was going to say Arena Cross, but if you could set up cheaper per month streaming packages, that'd be smart because 10 years from now, I think TV is going to be that close to dead.
That's probably valid, but for somebody my age, I'm in a different demographic. We look at it, I'd rather just pay a one-time fee. I don't want to see it $9.99
fair.
a month going on. It's the same thing with PIR. I've tried to get them. Just sell me a 1-year pass. It's season pass. Let me pay for all my racing up front. For one thing, I can write that off my business. And I can sponsor riders. It'd be so much easier for me to sponsor a rider. Hey, let me pay for your season out at PIR. I'm going to buy you a season pass to go out there and race all year. Can't do it,
Yeah. Would you agree, at least, though,
I think
TV is going, it's dying. I mean, think about it. Everything is the internet now. It's so easy to get everything else.
And that's why you see your companies like Comcast and DirecTV and even Dish all have streaming options. Where if you buy their TV package for your home, you get it on your tablet, your laptop, your cell phone, whatever you want. All your smartphones, your devices, you can carry it across, which is smart.
I think we're going to see way down the road more a la carte options.
Your Hulu, your Netflix,
where you get to pick which channels you want, and then the smaller channels are simply going to be cheaper. Oh, Food Network, it's going to be 50 cents a month. ESPN, $3.99 a month.
You must not know your demographic very well. The Food Network's insane.
For a guy. I'm guy.
For a guy, yeah.
I'm not talking your wife or, but I'm just saying for like us. Like, am I going to really watch Food Network? I could care less.
But,
Well, I guess that's a fair point. They have to set the same price for everyone.
Yeah, so if you had a motorsports channel.
Give me. I don't have cable, so give me something. Give me like a channel that you would never really watch. Give me something.
There you go. HGTV.
Home and Garden TV?
Yes.
I actually knew what that meant.
Yes.
Okay, so that one would be cheaper than ESPN. You kind of have to gauge a little bit. I think that's where it would be going, and I think a lot of it's going to become just internet-based.
Well, that would be smart if you could just pick your channels. Like, hey, I want a sports package. I want a, like say, motorsports package. Love like a MAV TV package where you could get all the racing, Red Bull TV, things like that, where you can just go, hey, this is what I'm into. Can you tailor me a package for this?
Yes.
I'm going to pay $22 a month. I don't have to watch anything else. I don't have to have the Lifetime Network or Hallmark Channel. I just have
the
Motorsports.
Hallmark Channel. Hey, they have good Christmas movies, though. Hallmark Channel,
My dad loves the Hallmark Channel. My mom and dad watch like that all the time. I'm like, how do you watch this?
Man, we went really deep down that path, man.
That was a rabbit hole.
Yes. Looping back around to local, though.
Local. Starting to see a lot more two-stroke stuff out there.
Do you think... Man, we went way off into that rabbit hole. The big picture stuff, that's fine, though. I mean, it's fine. But, local racing, though, when we started this whole thing off talking about why aren't more people riding or racing? So... Is it what... We were talking about exposure, but... And then, of course, if it's the cost, I think the two-stroke should be pushed harder on them.
I think the biggest problem is think back to the 70s.
I wasn't around in the 70s,
I know,
man.
but you talk to anybody that was around in the early 70s, it was, hey, we went out and caught a motorcycle. Whatever it was motorized, you put it on it. Kids nowadays aren't exposed to that. The parents it's dangerous. My wife's a perfect example. She doesn't want my son to have absolutely anything to do with dirt bikes. Other than, like, you want to go trail ride, teach him how to trail ride. But racing, no motocross.
So is it the fear of physical harm that's stopping a lot of people?
The fear of physical harm, I think, is a lot of it. But
that's pretty valid.
My 12-year-old daughter's on a 2,000-pound horse doing jumping competition.
Yes.
I trust a motorcycle a lot more than I trust a horse.
Yeah.
Motorcycles have a kill switch.
Ask Superman.
Yes.
Superman can't fly
Joe.
because of a damn horse.
Intern Joe doesn't talk much, but when he does...
I know, just radio gold.
And that's only 1 horsepower.
Yeah, only 1 horsepower, too. So, the cost, I think, is a big thing to address. Two-strokes would definitely help with that because they're cheap to buy, cheap to maintain. Exposure. Okay, yeah, everyone's battling for exposure. Man, you just brought up a solid one, though. It's the fear of physical harm.
Physical harm?
I think that almost outweighs cost because...
It does. Think about it.
How much does one of these cost?
Oh, a $1,000 cell phone?
Yeah, $700 to $1,000 cell phone.
I can go buy a kid a $650 SSR.
Yeah, I don't have an Xbox here. Grab it. How much is an Xbox?
How much is an Xbox? I don't know. Yeah, and then you add the $45 a piece for a game.
So Microsoft,
10 games, $450.
Microsoft Xbox One package, 4K Ultra Blu-ray, $499 from Best Buy. Now I know that's probably some goodies. You could probably get one for $250, $300, whatever.
But
let's say the
games on top of
$500.
that.
Oh yeah, and then some games. So let's say
And
that's
your
a
monthly
good
subscription, because you got to have online. You've got your headsets. You've got everything else that goes with it.
You want to be a gamer, you get that. And I'm sorry, the cool gamers have PCs, but whatever. So you get that, your phone, and you start adding up. Man, you can get yourself a pretty sick CR252 stroke.
Oh, as a kid, you could get yourself a nice little PW50, a TTR50, XR80. I mean, you can buy an old bike. Get a kid on a little bike. That's the biggest thing. And I think that's where electric bikes, you're going to start seeing that, because people are starting to buy the little Stasics for their younger kids, where they would put them on a pedal bike. You start seeing the electric bikes, the O-sets, So you think electric's actually going to help some of these people so they're not as afraid of dirt bikes? Electric's going to help a lot, because you're going to see a lot more at the parks, at these little places, especially in the urban areas where you have an open lot here and there, and they'll be taking their kids where they'd normally ride their pedal bike. Now you got a powered bike.
That's what I was going to say, because dirt bikes are too loud for neighborhoods.
Dirt bikes are too loud for neighborhoods.
When we were kids, you could just go out into a field within a half mile, and there was a tractor right on.
Yeah.
Now so you think if we see more electric, we're going to have people not so scared of their bikes? And I think you're going to start seeing a lot different style of racing coming on. You'll start seeing a lot more, maybe like little hockey arena stuff, like where it's small. It could be a growing sport for like flat track, an entry for that, because you can have little arenas or little dirt tracks. You know, like what the BMX tracks. There used to be BMX tracks everywhere. How many do you know of anymore? I think there's one out in Malala. Rare, yeah. Yeah,
I mean, that was, kids went out and did things. Kids went out and played with things. They learned stuff. They heard
Now
themselves.
They play Fortnite.
Now they play Fortnite.
I saw in Redmond there's a pump park.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was off the side of the freeway.
That's
There's
cool.
A lot of kids out there.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be.
So what's it gonna? Do you think electric's actually gonna help pull the kids away from Fortnite? I think electric's gonna help a lot, because it's gonna get those parents, especially as the price starts coming down on that. The parents, and you start seeing them in the used market. Parents are gonna look at that as an option, especially your more urban parents that are, noise is an issue.
And you don't have to work on them.
Yeah, you see those little, the 470 Razor electric plastic bikes. I see those around my neighborhood all the time. You'll start seeing a lot more of that.
Just plug them in.
Yep, plug it in and go.
So basically what you're saying is we're currently dealing with a generation of pussies.
You're dealing with a generation of kids who haven't been exposed to, realistically, like danger. I mean, when we were kids, parents don't let their kids outside now. When I was a kid, you didn't come inside the house unless you were bleeding, somebody died, or you found a poisonous snake. I mean, you do not come inside. You do not bug your parents. Nowadays, the parents are entertaining them. That's all it's about, is entertaining your kids. How do you entertain your kids to keep them from bugging you? Yeah,
when I was a kid, you didn't even want to go home.
No,
but
you didn't. No.
Once it's like really dark and it's like 10 o'clock at night and you're 12, it's like, well, you have to be in.
Oh, you
stayed out as long as you could.
The rules were you don't come in the house before dark, but if you come in after dark, you're getting your ass tanned. That's all there was to it.
Street lights are on.
Street lights are on. You better be home. You're running.
Yeah, it's not how it is now, man.
No, it's not. It's the kids are. They're stuck with their drones, and they're stuck indoors. And being here really bums it out for me, because I grew up in the east side of the state where it's always sunny. Like today, I call my brother, and it's 55 degrees and sunny, bright sunny day. My kids didn't even want to go outside today because it's cold.
Yeah, west side of Washington isn't the sunniest spot on earth.
No, it's not. Short trip across the mountains, though.
Yeah. Hey, they got wind though. They canceled practice over at Horn Rapids because too much wind. So
I've been on a windy track. I grew up over there.
Last time I was riding Horn, it was great in the morning, and I hit a jump and I did a whip and did not mean to.
Yeah,
I did that at Goldendale.
Yeah, I did it at Mapton.
And then shortly after, they started putting the wind turbines up. I was like, oh, yeah, it is definitely windy up there.
Oh, yeah.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah, I was at Mapton with my dad well, on that bike that I got from you, the 450, going back to that, and came off a jump on the left-hand side, and it blew me off the track over the T-bars, the T-posts that they had without tires on them to block the track. So, you know, when I blew over that and I'm looking down at it, it was like, oh yeah, time to load up and go home. So it's a little sketchy.
A little sketchy, yeah. So, you know, there's no perfect place on earth.
No, there's not. You know?
But
Except for indoors.
It is except indoors, man.
Brings on its own set of challenges there.
So what are we going to do, Jeremiah? We're going to have to wrap this up in a minute. But what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Do we got 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, we got a little time. Okay. So what are we going to do to get people get off their butts get their butts off a couch and on a dirt bike and going riding? Like two strokes, obviously, it's almost a given at this point. That helps.
I'm going to tell everybody, affordable. I got a challenge for you this winter, in the spring, summer. Go grab a friend that's never been to a motocross race. Take them. Just, hey, we're going to go watch a motocross race. Bring your kids. Take somebody that's never been exposed to it to a race and see what they think. I can guarantee you, every Thursday night there's a race in the summer. I mean, there's 26 races. That's a lot of exposure there. You have Woodland, which is a great place to go up. Winter series, yeah, it's a little wet, but you can go up there and camp. Riverdale's excellent. You go up there, camp, hang out the whole weekend. Instead of going up to the mountains and go camping or somewhere, you want to go by the river. You have a whole river there. You have tracks. You have people riding. You can camp out there and not even have to bring a dirt bike and just check it out. Get around it. Get it in your blood, because once it's in your blood, you're not getting it out.
I agree, and that's why I offer a lot of programs. I come up with some of these ideas like free riding clinics or free PW50
classes.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Because I think if we can get them out there and on bikes, they're going to get hooked. It's too good of a time to not get hooked on. But the problem is you have to get them on the bike for a bit. You got to get them into it, and then once you got them, you're hooked. And now, why do I want people hooked on moto? Well, okay, selfish reason. I think motocross is cool. I think more people should do it. All right, there's that. But you know what? I think it's a lot better than a lot of things that people do. I think it's a real challenge. And I think if you don't have real challenges in life, you're going to get more and more sedentary. You're going to, literally your brain's going to rot. It's not getting pushed. It's not getting expanded. You don't get better. I mean, it's like working out. Mm-hmm. When you go work out, you push your limits. Your body then heals and gets stronger and better. If you're not pushing your body and your mind in any way. Now, there's other things besides motocross, too. Motocross is just my personal favorite. But
I think it's good to be rounded.
I think it will make, if you're a regular rider, I think it will actually help your health, your mental health, and definitely your overall physical performance in life. Like, you're going to get stronger. And
it teaches kids a different thing, too.
Teaches you discipline.
But it also teaches you to fight for something, which is... and I think a lot of that's gone out of our society is wanting to fight. You got to fight for whether it's that job that you want, the pay that you want, the house that you want, the whatever. Getting on a motocross track, it's hard to go out there and learn. There's so much to it. It is a dangerous sport if you're not completely focused on it.
But if it wasn't dangerous, it wouldn't have as much value. Exactly. I'm a big believer that
think how many people do drugs because it's a danger.
I don't know about
that. It is.
I think that's almost a form of escapism. Well, it is a high. It is a high. You are correct.
And that's what racing does for you. It gives you.
I would definitely give you that. Yes.
Not only is it a mental and physical high, it also focuses you.
Yeah.
You have to be. You can drown out everything in the world for those 4 laps because you have to be focused on what you're doing.
And it teaches you strategy too.
It does. It definitely teaches you strategy.
Like, I got to come out of this corner here to get to the next.
Yeah, I got to watch out for that guy because he's going to cross jump me and kill me. So.
It helps you with driving too.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't help you with driving because I find myself on the way to work.
Well, Jamie
pass this guy.
Say she's better.
Oh, it's 85 miles an hour.
I have gotten older and I don't mind just staying in the fast lane instead of swerving through a bunch of people. But back in my day when I loved to swerve through, you could just see your line.
Oh yeah.
And I can go the slow lane for a little bit and then shoot right across. But yeah, I'm old now.
It is. It's definitely
I'm old, but I don't hang around my bedroom all day.
Yeah, no, you're out at the track supporting people that are riding and racing. So
Yeah, I think riding, dude, it pushes you, and I think that is healthy. You need
racing does that for
you need a challenge both physically and mentally at the same time, and I think you'll be healthier, happier person.
And there's other options out there too.
It's not
go out and race. I mean, go be a professional practice rider if you want.
Sure.
I think the track is an excellent place to hone your skills and it's going to help you be a better rider. But so the trails. Riding trails makes me a better track rider. I love trail riding. It's one of my favorite things. It's harder because it doesn't give you that competition.
Yeah.
And I think all of us.
There's off-road races though.
There is off-road races, but it's still a race now. Now you're looking at those people that don't want to race. I mean, think about how many people...
I think they still need to go race though.
Yeah, how many people do you know that's what they say? I don't race, but I ride a lot.
They need to go race.
They do. They do.
I think it's fun.
I think
it's the next level.
And if they don't go race, they still need graphics for their bike, right?
Well, of course,
I mean, you got to look good.
I won't do a graphics plug right now, even though that's what I do for a living. But I think people should still go race once in a while because it'll push you. You can learn a lot from it. Is it more dangerous? Yeah, of course. But, man, it's a good time. Like, you really want to just pussyfoot around and not do anything that's possibly dangerous. I think the best things in life are the ones that have the most risk. The most risk, because without risk...
there's no reward.
Yeah, I mean, how can you really feel rewarded doing something with almost no risk to yourself? Whether that be... Now, we can break this down to financial risk, physical risk. I mean, there's a variety of different things that can be a risk to you. But the most rewarding things in life, or I'm getting deep into philosophical here, but are ones... where you're taking a risk. If you sit there and play Fortnite and you get a win, that feels cool and all, but it's like a fake high because what risk do you have?
But it's a competition. It is going back to the golf thing.
It's a competition.
It's a competition. It's like bowling. As a racer.
I'm sorry, a golfer will never get the high that a motocross rider will get because there's no risk.
We turn everything into a competition.
Well, yes, and the competition will give you some reward.
Yes.
Winning. Okay, I'm going to nerd out for a second. I was actually a StarCraft player back in the day. I was a platinum level online. I like StarCraft because it's the most actions per minute. So I actually played StarCraft, and I got
up to 7th degree Imperial Yo-Yo Master.
Basically,
to me Yo-Yo Master.
I have 130 word per minute typing skills, so it was my game. Okay, I actually have a little nerd side of this, off over here. But
backstage base button doesn't count. I saw you typing over here.
I was on the struggle bus today with that one. I don't know, that keyboard's different than these two. These match over here. But
it's a left-handed keyboard.
Okay, so you get a reward from winning, especially doing really well. You get that reward. Man, I don't think it's as good of the reward as you would get winning a race because there's more risk. Will you get some? Yes, because winning any form of competition will give you that good burst of serotonin. You feel good about it. But if there's a risk...
We know that competition. We know that it's playing football, anything like that. We've done those things where there is that risk. A lot of these kids have never done that.
Winning a football game, winning a boxing match, winning a motocross race, things where there's high risk of injury or impairment, I think you're going to get a better feeling of reward from because you know the risk. Even, just subconsciously, you know the risk.
I will also say this about motocross. It's not a team sport. So if you lose, it's your fault.
Yes.
It's all on you. And I will say that I would probably not be as successful in the career I'm in if it wasn't for me having to fight for myself.
Right.
To get, to just, you can blame it on the mechanic, your dad, whatever, or the other rider.
But in the end,
it's you. Yeah, it's all you. You have to fight for what you want every lap.
Yep. And I'm not a big team player when it comes to... I liked playing sports, but I was never a team guy because if we lost, it wasn't my fault.
Yeah,
I was pissed. If we lost and it was my fault, I was pissed, but I was pissed off at me.
I'm not a team player.
Yeah,
I struggle. I can't watch these team sports, man. I'm like, what is this?
I love team sports because I like I said, I grew up with that. There's something about that There's a camaraderie and that, like we get in racing. You know, most of the young racers are all friends. They get on the track, they bang bars, but most of them are friends. The dads fight a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say the parents aren't always
the kids. Most of the kids.
Yeah,
The parents fight and the kids
man.
love each
Most
other.
of the kids.
Funny.
Most of the kids like each other, hang out, and do
Yes,
what they do.
Definitely.
But the dads are just you gotta back off. Like if you want your kid to race, cool, let him race. But you don't need to go out there and
There's a few moms. Don't forget some moms.
there is some moms,
Oh,
but
yeah,
you
don't
don't
leave
need to
them
go out there and build him a $10,000 65. I mean, you know, there's no reason for that.
Just get graphics.
Just get graphics.
Just get-
yeah, just
UGW graphics.
get graphics.
Intern Joe's plugging me.
Get some
That's what
good
she
gear.
said.
You know, Gresham Powersports sells gear, and get you a nice helmet.
Yeah, 60, testament to the 60.
Now, if you want a new, if you want a new 65 or an 85, we've got those also. So, just plugging away.
You guys are just getting out of control. With
They
the
got
plugs.
white ones, orange ones.
Yeah, come in any color you want as long as it's white or orange.
Yep.
It's like a creamsicle.
So I think we just need ways to get people out on the bikes.
We
and
do.
I think it'll start becoming addictive, and I think it'll be good for them. Long story short, I think it'll be good for them.
Just need to get people to the track. We need people out there. We need new blood. People that have never done this, and it doesn't need to just be the kids. We don't just need the youth out there, because the largest classes that we have are vet riders, and a lot
out
of
of
those,
Riverdale, vet classes are doing great.
they're huge, and a lot of those guys have never raced before, or are only like me. You know, I didn't race growing up, so I didn't start racing until I was 32.
Dude, I had a 54-year-old man hit me up recently. He's like, man, I need a bike. You know, I want to go out here and do some off-road racing. Like, what do you think? You know, where's some good places? I'm Team Tortoise, dude. They're a cool place. And I listed off Mag 7 and some stuff. And he's like, dude, that's awesome.
Stuff.
He's like, I've trail ridden, but I've never really done a race. I'd like to start there, maybe try some motocross. And you know what? He went and got a bike. I don't remember what he got. I think a KTM 350 or something like that. And he went out racing. Started at 54, and he's having a damn good time with it. He thinks it's awesome.
You should. And I tell everybody this. If you're a racer and you race only motocross, go race an off-road race.
Yes.
Go check it out. It is something completely
Yes.
different, but it'll be the best time you ever had. One of the funniest things I've ever heard was Jason McCormick talking about I think it was 04 or 05, he went and raced the 24-hour race. He says that was the biggest kick in the pants. He says it was relaxing. You know, this is him not that far off of racing professional motocross at the highest level. And he's like, it was the best time I've ever had. He said, I'd love to do it again. That's, doing that. Or if you're an off-road racer, go race a motocross race.
Or come out to the Dirty Pickle.
Or come out to the Dirty Pickle. Or do vintage racing. Of all things, go out to a vintage race. Woodland has them the second weekend of the month, second Saturday of every month.
Yes, they do.
And if you want to see some fun times where people are working on their bikes constantly, it is the best time in the
Kind of
world.
like pit bike racing.
It's a
Yeah.
lot like pit bike
Yeah.
racing. You spend 30 minutes riding and 13 hours working on your bike, or 13 hours working on your bike and no hours riding it. So
Yeah, man, that's
just
pit
depending
bike.
on what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We
pit
know that
bikes.
guy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now I know
Too
we
soon?
need to
Too
definitely
soon?
wrap this up.
Too soon.
Yeah, I heard you over there, Joe.
Hey,
I heard you.
That was a month ago, so
Yeah.
it was last month.
You guys are
So before we wrap this up, we are going to have our after show,
Okay.
which will be back on Facebook Live. So we'll just have a short pause, and we'll go back over to Facebook Live and talk more about some local events and all that fun jazz.
Nice.
But do you got any final words of wisdom for everybody?
Final words of wisdom. If you're a racer and you want to have some fun, go buy yourself an old two-stroke. The 90s two-stroke bikes, they're cheap. They're out there. They're available. You can go race them. I'm not going to say it's as good as a modern bike because I can go back and forth between the 90 CR500 I rode yesterday and my 16 350 FC. Completely different bikes. Had fun on both of them. But you can go out there and bar bang with some guys and have a good time. That's all it's about. And vintage racing, low key. There's no big jumps on them. It's everybody going out and having a good time. Big support. I mean, you'll have guys out there. If your bike breaks, they'll throw you on their spare bike, or vice versa. It's a lot of fun. Go pick one up and go bring 3 of your buddies and everybody run a different class, or split classes up. Run the first moto, have your buddy run the second moto. That's a lot of fun too. It's just get out there and try it, and that's probably the easiest way to get into it because it's so low key. You can pick up a just clapped out and say 92 RM 125 or CR 250 and go out there and have a good time. That's a good way to get started if you want to break into something and just ease your way into it. If you're not sure you want to go out, there's no reason to go spend $10,000 on a new bike. And you can race those bikes on a modern track if you want to.
Oh yeah, in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, Riverdale Winter Series, great time. It's going to be muddy anyway, so nobody's going to be jumping the jumps in your class. So if you're the beginner class, go have a ball. Take that roached out thing and burn the bearings out of it.
So get out there, find a bike, go ride, have fun, find an older two-stroke, and just pin it. Yeah, keep a piston or two around.
Do your basic maintenance. Take it to a mechanic that knows what they're doing, and just have them look the bike over.
Go thrash your bearings and go to pivotworks.com or Gresham Powersports.
Or Gresham Powersports, we can get you bearings.
Through Pivotworks.
You guys are plugging hard.
That's what I was shooting.
And I think On Tap Racing can put them in for you, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, Jeremiah, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you for having me, Justin.
It's been fun. And remember, guys, this was brought to you by 110 Clothing, ONE10clothing.com. Got a little special because you came on. If you enter in promo code 2stroke,
nice,
you get 30% off anything in the store.
And there are some sweet two-stroke shirts on there.
There are definitely some two-stroke specific shirts on there.
Yes. I like that CR500 you put on that picture.
That was all me.
Oh,
yeah.
That was Justin's. That looks a lot like the bike I was riding yesterday.
That was a nice
1990 CR500. We're gonna do a build on that bike. It's gonna be kind of a community build. We're gonna do something fun with it. Just go out and do some vintage racing. Possibly some Riverdale Winter Series, and just have fun with it.
I've always wanted a 500.
Well, you want to come out and race it, Joe? You're glad to.
Freaking tractors. Remember Chuck?
This is identical to Chuck's bike. Yeah.
I
wanted to buy
it.
90.
Yes.
Same orange bike. I was after that thing, but he sold
there.
it. So.
Well,
Justin's out there. So last Riverdale Winter Series, the first race, that I think is the first race ever where I was on a 4-stroke and you were on a 252 stroke.
That was weird.
At the same race.
That was really weird. I'm on a CR250. You're on a Husky 350. I was like,
I told you we should have just swapped
because
it felt so uncomfortable on the track.
I was uncomfortable. I was all over the place, man. I was like,
I'm a 2-stroke guy. We all know that, but I'm gonna give the 4-stroke a shot this year. I want to be unbiased. So we're gonna give that, but I still have my 2-strokes. I'll always pull those out and have fun with them. So I'm not crossing the. I'm not going over to the dark side.
Bisexual.
Yeah, we know there's only one valve that rules them all, so and it's called the power valve.
All right. We're going to get out of here, guys. Thank you for listening and watching. This has been Moto Monday number 73. The after show will start up shortly. Remember, follow 110 Clothing on all our social media unless you're really tired of my voice. Then don't follow us.
And go buy a 2-stroke.
Go out, buy a 2-stroke.
Buy a 2-stroke.
Have fun. Ride your dirt bike a little more and just a little less Fortnite. We're out. We'll be back on Facebook Live in just a few minutes.